Good morning. Sorry, my mic was muted. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to my Monday morning live. And today we are talking about, well, all week. Look how wonky my glasses are. Looks ridiculous. But anyway, we are talking about relationships because this is the week of love. This is Valentine's week. And so whether it's a loving relationship, as in a boyfriend, girlfriend, boyfriend, all of the above and beyond. If it's that kind of sexual partner relationship, good morning, Alicia, or if it is a friendship relationship, we need to consider relationships. And it's very easy not to, especially in the current climates where we might not be with our people. Good morning, everybody. I am streaming this across multiple platforms again. So this means that I can't see, if you are on Facebook, unless you go to the bottom of your screen and somewhere it will give you the option to allow StreamYard to then I can see you. You have to allow it. So some of you will just come up as Facebook user. Good morning, Anthea. Good morning, lovely. So I can't see everybody. If you're on Facebook, I won't be able to necessarily see your name unless you let StreamYard let me see you. If you are watching this on the replay, then welcome, and do let me know in the comment section whichever platform that you are on that you have been here. Now, as with all of my live sessions, for those of you that are new to these, I like to do a Monday morning check-in. I'd like you guys to do this always for yourself because it's really important. So before we go any further, I just want to ask you, good morning, Lorraine. I want to ask you how you are. How are you? And the way that we do this on these sessions is that we give it a number because it's tangible, right? And we can make sense of it. So how are you? People go like, I don't know, what do you want? When people ask you how you are, I'm like, do you really want to know that? Because it's deep. It's real deep. There's highs and lows. It's changeable. It changes within the hour. But so when we put a number on it in this group and in my community, so it is from a 1 to a 10, where you at? 1 being I'm rubbish, 10 being I feel incredible, and everywhere in between. And this is for you to get the chance to check in with yourself more than anything else. It's nice for me to be able to see, because those of you that are in my community, I get to know you and I get to see where you are. And BJ Productions Limited on YouTube is at a 4 today. And Geeky Trainer, good morning, Lawrence. Good morning on YouTube as well. It's a really important step for you to see where you are at. And over the next week, the next months, you'll begin to see what is your average. So we've got Lorraine at an 8, Lawrence is at a 6. So for some people, a 4 might be an average. And so it's pretty standard. But yet they, on one occasion, get to a 5 or 6 and it's incredible. Or they drop to a 1 and it's not so good. So everybody is different. So you can't really compare your numbers to other people. My average is, my average is high. So I'm an 8 or a 9 most days. I feel a good solid 9 today. I feel happy. I feel quite organized. If I drop below that, then that's me being just on the border, Alicia is a 6 today. Anthea is a 7. And Alicia says she's feeling as you need some alone time this morning. Oh, I get that. Everyone is in your house for months now. Isn't that interesting? Because I was talking about this recently about the beginning of lockdown for somebody who, I'm a confident introvert. So I need space, but I'm very confident around people. But I do need that space and that time to just chill and reboot. And so at the beginning of lockdown, where everyone was making a real conscious effort with relationships, which will relate to our conversation today, and really trying to keep in touch and communicate, I was like, everybody's in my house. Everybody's trying to do quizzes and Zoom calls, and it's too much. I actually found it quite overwhelming. I don't know if anybody else found this. Good morning. If you are on Facebook saying hello this morning, I cannot see you unless you go to the bottom of your screen and let StreamYard is what I'm using, say that I can see you. So if I'm not ignoring who that is, I can't see who that is. Good morning, Kate. Kate is way up on a 9 today. Incredible. Fantastic. Paige says, I'm so stressed since my son is ill and my wife is starting a new job. So stressed too. Life is just stressful. Life is feeling heavy at the moment for you. That's a lot of stuff to happen at once. And I'm so sorry that your son is ill at the moment. That's proper rubbish. And just be kind to yourself. Take time with yourself, because what you've just told me, your wife's starting a new job. She's stressed out, right? That's a big deal. Any new starts, any new transitions, and your son being ill, all of that at once, that's a lot for you to deal with. So expect little of yourself right now. So the fact that you're at a 4 makes sense. that seems made to be on the lower side, and that makes perfect sense. And so just take time with yourself, allow yourself that space to see where you can add in the things that you need. Good morning as well on Facebook. I can't see who is saying good morning to me unless you click at the bottom of the screen. So today we are going to chat very briefly. It is a very short chat this morning, but I wanted to say, I want to talk about relationships, because this week certainly, is Valentine's Day a global thing? Like, is that, I think it is, isn't it? But Valentine's Day is on Sunday, so it's the 14th. And although we're not going to necessarily talk about just one type of relationship, all of this week on my social media, I'm discussing relationships and the importance of certain aspects of relationships. And so I thought we would start this Monday Morning Live considering our own relationships. And quite interestingly, Alicia has already dived in with the fact that some of it's quite noisy right now. And some of it, some of our relationships, some of you are really lacking in that intimacy, in that connection with those that you care about and want to be around and might not be able to be. And then there's those of you that have got them in your house, and it's a lot. So it's real different ends of the spectrum. Good morning, Marie, on YouTube there. So it's just really considering those. Good morning, Louise, as well on Facebook. So it's considering the different relationships that we have. Now, they do say that we are I don't know what the saying goes, but the people that we spend the most time with are how we become like the people that we spend the most time with. So it's definitely worth considering, who am I around the most? Are these people that lift me up and light me up and make me feel great about life? Or are these people a more negative impact on my space? Am I growing as a person being around these people or not? And it's a really important thing, because people don't necessarily stay with us the full journey, right? There'll be friends that you've had for years, no doubt. There'll be the odd one or two, maybe two if you're lucky. If you've got one friend that you've known for years and years and years, then you're truly lucky. But most people, we come and go, and it's not because we're flaky. It's just because the fact is that we change, or we should change over time. As we grow older, we need different things at different points in our lives. So it is worth considering those relationships that we have now. And if they're, there's probably some of you that have had some good friendships for a long time, and there'll be some of you that are at a stage where you no longer fit with the friendship circle that you are currently in. And I know that when I'm doing self-development type chat with people, or when I'm working with people one-on-one, good morning, everybody. I can see Kaylee's on YouTube, and anybody else that I've missed somebody on Facebook. I can't see you unless you click to let StreamYard let me see that who you are, reveal yourself. But when I'm working with clients, and certainly people who are in my Happy Me project community and my wider circle, when you start to work on your mindset and you start to gain more insight into how you can be more positive, you might find that there are people. Hi, we've got Rob on Periscope. Welcome, Rob. You might find that people start to back off, or people don't like this new version of you, and that can put a strain on relationships. And that's a really interesting dynamic. And often that's because you've been a certain way with these people. So let's say you have been a bit more negative, and you've spent your time gossiping and moaning, and that's how they know you, and they know the drama, and they know all the more negative aspects of how we are as human beings. And then suddenly here you are watching people like me on YouTube and Facebook and Periscope and whatnot, and you're talking about positive mindset, and you might find that some of those relationships that you have don't like that. And it's not a reflection of them being a bad person. It's just that they don't know this version of you. However, that doesn't mean you should go, okay, well, I'll just give up on this stuff because, my mate Sandra from school can't deal with it. No, it's not. It's just understanding that they're not on you with that journey necessarily, and you can't drag people along with you. So some of you will come to me and say, well, I'm really getting into this positive mindset stuff. I feel amazing, but my husband just won't get on board with it, and he's super negative, or my girlfriend just hates it, or my best mate thinks I'm an idiot and thinks it's all woo-woo stuff. It's all nonsense. And your job isn't to try and shift that. Your job is just to go, ooh, that's interesting. And it's not a reflection on you as a person. Lorraine says, gifted with a hubby who constantly lifts me up when I'm struggling with anxiety. And that's so lucky to have, Lorraine. That's incredible and amazing that you have that. And Kate is just saying, I'm just going to click on Kate there as well. Kate is saying, lockdown has been great for realizing who my people are. That's important as well, right? Obviously, I have some home folks, my homies in my home, and luckily we have a great relationship. But my wider net of people has potentially changed for when we go back to, yeah. And that is very interesting, isn't it? That lockdown life has really flagged up who we care to spend time with and maybe who we don't, and that's really flagged that up, and who makes the effort and who doesn't. And again, it's not saying if people haven't, because everybody's dealing with their own stuff right now. Everybody is dealing with it. We might be collectively going through an experience, but we're all going through it very much in our own way. And it's interesting to see how everybody is dealing with it. And so if people aren't getting in touch with you and they aren't staying in touch and all of that stuff, that doesn't mean they don't like you or they should be culled from your life. It just means that, you know, they could be going through some stuff as well. But it is definitely worth us considering those things as we go through lockdown. Now, an important factor in any relationship is boundaries. And we spoke about boundaries last Monday when we were talking about self-care for ourselves. But boundaries are important in our relationships as well. And boundaries make it sound really negative. You know, it sounds like boundaries always feel like this fence and this keep everybody out kind of vibe. But that isn't what that's about. And the most important relationships I know from my own experience, the most important relationships in my life are people where I can absolutely be vulnerable and open with. But yet there is also we know what the boundaries are within that relationship. Now, if it's a relationship that you are in, a romantic relationship, from my own experience and from that of others that have had, you know, really connected relationships, that level of vulnerability is essential. When I meet people that, you know, and I meet people a lot who tell me their stories, and I hear people tell me things that they haven't shared with their partner at all. They hide big aspects of their personality from their romantic partner. It's for me, when I'm looking at that, I'm going, that's kind of doomed to fail, because if you're constantly masking yourself up and hiding and being only a kind of polished version of yourself for those people, then they never get to really connect with you. And then you might end up feeling resentful towards them, but you haven't created the space to do that. And I was joking with one of my friends recently who had got into a new relationship and saying how when you're an adult, but probably just do this always, that you need to almost audition people for relationships, that you need to go, okay, so what is your feelings on, you know, whatever it is, what are your feelings on having children? What are your feelings on, I don't know, I can't think of any examples now, but, you know, we need to know these nitty gritty. You know, what were your parents like? How did they respond to each other? We need to, you know, go into relationships with a very open conversation about stuff. Now, I'm probably the most extreme version of that, because my husband, for those that don't know, my husband sadly passed away. But when he was here, he was autistic. So we were very direct in our conversations about things and knew everything about each other. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be joined at the hip with your romantic relationships in any way, but you certainly have to be able to be yourself. I think that's such an important thing. And then the boundaries come into play when, you know, this is what I accept. This is, you know, when you're in that audition process with somebody, this is what I accept in my life and this is what I don't. And I think that's a very important conversation to have. I'm just going to look at some of the conversations. Emma is saying that it's great that we evolve and change. And I always find it super exciting connecting with new people, because that's how I learn. I love that too. It's a really wonderful thing when you get to, you know, it's exciting, isn't it? When you get to know somebody and you get to hear all of their stuff. Like, I don't personally want to know how you are, as in you've been doing the dishes today and stuff. Like, that's very, very boring. What I want to know is, what is your deepest, darkest fears and ambitions? That's what excites me. And BJ Productions on YouTube is just saying, my relationship with my wife has been tested, but we have gotten through it. And that's okay as well, because I think when we grow as people, there's absolutely going to be those tests of our character when certain things happen in our world, when stuff gets chucked in that you've experienced, and you know, even simple things like moving house, but, you know, ill health, or, you know, just our own personal stuff that we go through. Those relationships will be challenged, and some won't some won't be able to stand that test because we've shifted and changed too much as that has happened. and some will. And people, you know, I'm a great believer in that there isn't one person for everybody. We get told that fantasy in films and stuff, but there's one person at each stage of your life and each version of who you are. You know, the next person that I meet will not be meeting the same person that my husband Ross met back in when I was, you know, 22. That's not the same person I am at 36. And surely at every stage we change. Now, the good thing is that sometimes we change with people and we grow together, and that's when the work comes into play. That BJ Production. I'm sorry, I don't know your actual name. I'm just looking at the comment section as well. And Kaylee saying, love connecting with the group and making new friendships. Yeah, so my Facebook group, so this is actually going out live on a few different platforms today, but my Facebook group, the Happy Me Project Facebook group, has been an incredible space to create relationships over the last year, particularly when some people have been really lacking in that connection with others. And I really do pride myself. Hi, Andrew. Sorry, Andrew's just let me know. BJ Productions is Andrew. Over the last year, I know that people have really created some strong connections in that space. And I think the reason that people have been able to do that in such a wonderful way is because there's a massive lack of judgment. Because with any of our relationships, there has to be lack of judgment on each other, right? Like, we are all such flawed human beings. Every single one of us are flawed and messy. Oh, and Andrew's autistic as well, so that's cool. I actually have quite a large autistic following, and I think it's because I spoke about my husband's autism as well. And autistic people are awesome, by the way, in their directness and their and I'm not trying to like group every autistic person as the same, but one of the things I've always valued with people who are autistic is their level of directness and being the black and white nature. That's very refreshing to me, because most neurotypical people, or massive majorities of the population, we try to hide and mask who we are, and I want to see you beyond the mask, you know. And Marie is just saying that she loves the Happy Me Project Facebook group. It really has been an amazing connection. And that's not just for you guys, it's for me too. You know, being able to get to know you all in that space has been really, really supportive and wonderful and being able to watch you support each other as well has been really incredible. That lack of judgment of each other is essential in us growing as people, that we just go, this is who we are. And I'm flawed and I make mistakes. And, you know, I've certainly, in terms of my personal brand online, I feel so lucky and proud of myself for doing this, because I've given myself space to mess up publicly and it be okay. So when I come onto these lives and, you know, I knock my glasses off my head, or like I say the wrong thing, or I just like freeze up, it doesn't matter, like, because I've created that space of lack of judgment, which is amazing because it allows me that space. Why are my glasses so wonky today? Like, what is going on with them? These are so annoying. And because I can see it on the screen, it's doing my head in. But you know what's interesting? This week I was on the BBC again. I'm on the BBC this week actually talking about loneliness at Valentine's Day and how we deal with that level of loneliness. So it ties in nicely with some of the things that we are talking about this week in my online community. But one of the interesting things about me feeling very relaxed, chatting and making mistakes and stuff, I was on the BBC last week very early, and I was chatting about the news, which for those of you that follow me know I don't really watch the news. So I had to like super research early in the morning. And then I went onto the radio, and I just felt like I was just like chatting, you know, just like to a friend, poor Phil on the BBC. And I'm like, I mixed a word up. I can't remember what it was, or I couldn't think of a word. And I'm like on the radio. Now, bear in mind, when you're on the radio, you usually have to get things in quick because they have such a short, like little space for you to talk. And so they want your talking points fast. And usually that's where I'm like, deliver, because I can do it. However, when I was on the radio the other day, I was just like, I think I just was a bit too chilled. And I'm like, going to the presenter, you know, Phil, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, the word. And I think the word I was looking for was, I was talking about national holidays, and I was trying to think of what that, and I couldn't. And I was like, what's the word, Phil? Like, and he's probably thinking, Jesus Christ, like, this is not a chat with your pal. So actually sometimes that kind of messing up, being okay to be open, and that doesn't always work out. And I got off the call and I was like, that was going out to a lot of people like live on air, and he hears me just like babbling away. And Louise is just saying, it's reassuring to hear it's absolutely normal to change through life. As I often wondered if I was abnormal, as I feel quite a different person. Oh gosh, no, Louise, this is so like such a big thing. Like it's so important that we change, right? If we are the same people from 20, like our young adult 18 to 20 as we are when we're 85, then we have not learned a damn thing. What a waste. No, we change, like if I look back, I mean, there'll be fundamental things about you that stay the same. But if I look back to me at 21, and obviously, no doubt, some of that's online somewhere or on a TV show or radio show, there'll be some recording of a cringe moment of mine. Like if I look back at that, I'd be like, oh, like I cringe at some of the things I said and did. Now, there's no point in that in reality, because it's what shaped who I am today. And the reason we are different people at different points is because we've experienced different things as we go along the way. And like I say, it's incredible if people can join us on that journey. But I think it's a lot of pressure for us to expect other people to change in the same way. And I think it's wonderful when you see couples that have been together for years and years and years and years and years, and they've managed to do that. And no doubt there's been some testing times along the way, and you should certainly not just give up on relationships. But sometimes you have to go, do you know what, we're not on this journey together now. And that can be sad. And sometimes, relationships break up, not because they dislike the other person. It's just they're no longer connected in that way. And that can be really sad, but don't waste your time on that. Like I'm such a believer, we're here for such a short space of time in our life. And as much as we should absolutely work on our relationships, I'm not saying give up, without care. There is a point when you go, I'm no longer connected with this person in any way. And I can love them, but move forward. And just looking at the comment section as well. And we can see, I can't see who's saying this, but I left school 10 years ago. I've not remained in contact with any of my old school friends just because I've changed as a person. I've got a few new friends from college who have close relationships that I can discuss based, and that's cool as well, right? I think I've got one, maybe two friends, one that I keep in close contact with from school, and the odd one that I sort of now and then on social media. And it's not that I dislike them. It's just that we're in different places in our lives. That's it. It's simply that. Someone just said, oh, Valentine's Day, you can still feel love and be single. Absolutely. Start with loving yourself. And I can see on YouTube, I can't see who that is. It says, hi, Holly, hope you're well. I am well, thank you. Erectile dysfunction. I love that. I just read that out loud. And it goes down to Holly just saying what is in front of her. Erectile dysfunction is what I just said, because I read it as it was said on the screen. If you are watching with your children, I'm sorry, but they won't know what that means. It's fine. Do you like my cup this morning? This is my excellent, today, let's look at the coffee's just spilling all down. Today is going to be fucking fantastic. And it is going to be a great day, and it's going to be a great week. And over the next week, I am going to be chatting much more about relationships. So watch out on my social media, and I will be doing a podcast again this week. So those of you that don't know, I have a podcast now. How exciting. I'm very excited by the podcast. And I was going to make a erectile dysfunction joke there, but I'm just going to keep it to myself. But I've said it. I'm just going to let you have your moment on the screen. But yeah, I'm very excited about the podcast, and that you guys have been watching it and reviewing it and all of that stuff, because I had zero expectation about what that was going to be like. But just having a look at that. Everyone's just laughing at my my comments about erectile dysfunction. Oh, Emma's just said, yes, she does. Oh, God damn it. Your children are like my children, and they know everything. So yeah, I'm excited about the podcast, and I'm going to try and do one every week. That's going to be my sort of aim, I guess. Thank you guys on Facebook. And Emma says the podcast is amazing. Thank you so much. Do you know what? It's just going to be like this. It's going to be me splurging out some stuff just with a little bit more foresight and organization than when I do my lives, and I can just bumble along, because on there I can clip out some of the absolute like nonsense that I say and try to keep myself a little bit more on track. So there's going to be a podcast every week. If you're not on my email list, then make sure that you do get on that. If you join my Facebook group, there'll be ways to do it on there. What else have we got going on? I've got lots of things happening over the next few months. So, be around, hang out with me. And yeah, this week is about relationships. Next week, we're going to be talking about how to get motivated and take action. That is going to be that as well. Thank you so much, guys, for the comments there. Love the podcast. Can't wait for the new one. Absolutely. Me neither. I can't wait to record it. I get excited, I record it, and then I'm like, let's put it out in the world because I'm dead impulsive. And I have to be like, no, put it out at a regular time. Just do that. But no. Oh, and say no, she she does, as in you've got a podcast, not that. Oh, got you. Got you. Sorry, Emma. I'm just like, yeah, no, she doesn't know that. That's good. That's good that she doesn't. My children know too much. My child came in the other week and said, Mom, what's AIDS? And I was like, okay, AIDS, okay. And then, how do gay men have sex? Okay. I mean, it's early on a Monday morning. We shouldn't even be talking about this. I told him though, because my children get honesty from me. I don't know what the lie is. I don't know what the lie is. Okay. I don't know what the lie. People guide me. I don't know what that. I'm sure there's going to be some like religious people on here that are going to like harpoon me and like string me up and all that. But look, my children get honesty from me, and that is it. End of story. And Lorraine says, I need to listen to your podcast. You're totally inspiring. Thank you so much, Lorraine. Yes, definitely do. The Happy Me Project is the podcast. It's on Apple and Spotify and all of that stuff. If you're on Apple, do drop me it's not a thumb, is it? It's a star. Do me some stars and a review. That would be ace, because that's how it gets noticed by Apple and they put it out to more people. And the more people that I can reach, the more I can help people to feel more happy and less crappy. And that is it. Emma says, the thing is, as soon as you start to explain they're off anyway, catching Pokemon or sweating. And we're the ones sweating under the collar. Yeah, without a doubt. They're not interested. They've moved on. They do need to know. There's no, in my world, there is no judgment and no shame. There is age appropriate stuff for sure, but equally you have to know your own children. My children have been through a hell of a lot of stuff where we've had to be very direct and open. And because of that, we have to, that's it. We just, we have to be real and honest with them. And Katie's just saying, next week's podcast will be awesome. I've been super motivated since February the 1st, getting up early and working out. Fantastic. So I'm going to have to leave you guys. Love you and leave you. I have a client this morning and she's amazing. And so I want to go and give her all of my time and love and support. And for those of you that don't know what I do overall and you've just stumbled on this, there are plenty of my courses, the Happy Me Projects 1 and 2. Happy Me 1 is all about positive mindset, 21 days to create a more positive mindset. They're evergreen courses. The Happy Me 2 is all about confidence and self-belief. In March, at the end of March, I am going to be opening the doors to the You Got This Academy, which is the Happy Me Project's 6-week coaching program. So if you want to work with me on a more direct level, then you keep your eyes and ears open and peeled and all that. And I will be letting you know the dates for that. But that's going to be 197. Forgotten how much it was. £197. You can pay it over 2 months. I'm keeping it at that rate. This time it will be going up at the end of the year. So if you do want to do this again, I'm going to be running it twice this year. Want to do it, this is going to be the cheapest it will be. It will be at a higher price going forward after that. So just so you know all of that, I want to give you as much info as possible. And I have to go. Have an amazing day. You're all incredible. And come and hang out in the Happy Me Project Facebook group if you're not already in there. Subscribe to podcasts, YouTube channel, everything else. And have an incredible week. And that is all. Peace.